Hi everybody, it's Mark here, and I am going to take you through the features of feedback. Instant feedback and guidance in Scribo is really good. It's so easy to use. I'm going to take you through it now and show you how it works. So we don't have to go over this again, but when you've selected your essay from either the general or academic levels that you want to practice on in Scribo, you get a container into which you can simply click to go to. Now I'm going to take you into an essay where someone's already underway. They're already starting to form their thoughts, get it down into paragraphs, and they're ready for their first writing check. So you can run a writing check at any time you like. You just need to have more than about 100 words, I think, and we will run a check. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's as simple as having your text here on the right hand side. On the left hand side is your prompt. We've been through all of those features in prior courses. The thing to note when you're writing an essay are the keywords, okay? Now, typically when you get an exam or you're in a situation where you've got a question, sometimes you have to derive those keywords. So you have to find what the topic needs you to do. We give you that information in Scribo so you can get straight to practicing. Just remember, you may be required to do that yourself, definitely in an exam situation and when you're practicing in other systems. So here's the question, here's your prompt, here's your attempt. One click and we get our awesome report from our flying man. So the first thing you'll notice is we come into a section called Overall. Overall feedback aligns to the IELTS rubric. Now, the IELTS rubric is a 4-element rubric based around task achievement, range accuracy, lexical resource, coherence and cohesion. They are the 4 elements of the rubric. There are 9 levels of grade that you can achieve inside that rubric. So we're very conscious of sticking to the way you are going to be evaluated in an IELTS exam situation, and that's how we structure our feedback back to you. So it's really simple. Anything that's in red needs to be looked at, really well looked at, because that's a problem. And when you see these red points, you can find where it is and go straight to it and really start attacking how your feedback or how this feedback can impact on your writing. So that's overall feedback. Now you can, if you like, translate this into your mother tongue language, your native language. So if you have a Chinese background and you're more comfortable reading feedback presented in Chinese, no problem. You can translate that anytime you like. Now the paragraph feedback is where the rubber hits the road, because we break down the feedback by paragraph. This is quite powerful because we start looking for things in paragraphs where they should be. Like in your first paragraph, we should have a thesis statement. This one has been found in the middle of the paragraph. We believe it better to be either at the beginning or at the end of the paragraph. So little tweaks around, that's why it's orange. Little tweaks into that thesis statement can make it a stronger opening, which gets you more marks. The grammar issues, we always have to be conscious about those. And when we make a point, we give you great detail as to how that point needs to be addressed. So if it was grammar, these are all of the grammar issues. And you can click and take yourself through all of these. You will touch on it, it'll give you a suggestion. When it comes to cohesion, we look at things like simple cohesives versus more advanced cohesives. Simple ones can clutter up sentences and make them overly long. Try not to have long sentences. And to that point, sentences are down here, where you can see your long sentences are coming through here in the system just by one click there. So everything we discuss in the paragraph is discussed in much more detail in these lower elements. If they are turned off, this means you have no spelling errors and you have no passive voice errors, for example. When they're turned on, that means there are issues or suggestions you could look at. So things like keywords. Have you met all the keywords in the question? Well, we missed one, so we've got to go back and fix that. In terms of readability, have we maintained a tempo through the essay? Now this one is quite academic. It's quite hard to read. If you look at the scale here, these paragraphs here are quite hard to read. And the reason they're really hard to read is because they've got such long sentences. So in a couple of clicks, you can really hone in on where you need to improve and you need to break up these sentences. I think there's some great content in this essay. It's just written very heavily. It doesn't have a breath. it puts the reader under quite a bit of stress while they're reading it. So this is what the paragraph feedback is designed to do. And if you can adjust your reds and your oranges, you're going to have a much better result for an essay. And as soon as you make a change, you can rerun the feedback and it will give you more feedback, different feedback. So it's quite a good thing to practice. You can pick a couple of sentences in the paragraph that you've got. You can move the words around, you can restructure the sentence, you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, and you can see what the paragraph and the overall feedback suggests. And as you make a change, the changes will come through. So that's the most powerful thing about feedback, is that it's instant and you don't have to wait for it. You have to mail it off to anybody. It comes straight at you and it's relevant to your writing. So I do hope you enjoy the feedback side of things. There's another little tip I'll give you on the way out, and that is that Tell Me More has always more suggestions and help resources online. So behind every subsection of our help down here, there is a Tell Me More section, and it's all context related help. And that's really sort of containerizes the whole experience for you. You're writing your essay, you're getting your feedback from a central point, and the feedback help that you get is consistent as well. So have a good time, and I hope your writing really improves using Scribo. Bye for now.